Welcome back, y'all. Part 2 of getting to the bottom of this January 6th thing. Now, like I said, my goal is to show Republicans how to win arguments, how to destroy the narratives that comes out of the Democrat Party. Because when you are arguing against the Democrats, you got to understand the tactics that they use to disarm you. The Republicans have to learn to, first of all, identify those tactics, prepare for those tactics, and maneuver around them. To reveal it, to show just how maybe hypocritical they are, show how they maybe omit information that doesn't fit their narrative, show their real motive that they're not trying to get to the bottom of January 6th, but instead they're trying to paint a narrative. So last video, you saw that one of the key components to proving and showing what took place on January 6th, which was Ray Epps, a person on video all over the place saying go into the Capitol and knowing where the pipe bomb was. For some reason, the FBI, the DOJ, the Democrat Party, the news media, all of them, they have no desire to know about this man. And I'm shocked because out of all of those insurrectionists that they said need to be locked up, put in jail, they're danger to society, the one that's on video saying all of that is not the danger. In fact, the last video, the Democrats said that they interviewed him and he's innocent. And there was no trial. There was nothing, no video footage, no evidence to show that they interviewed him. They won't release any of this. They want us to just take their word for it, shut up, and forget about why they are overlooking one of the key pieces, one of the main people who seem to know the whole plan, as we're going to find out in part 2. And then you're going to see how I can help the Republican Party out by helping them win these debates and these discussions. So let's get into it. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. Hey, did you know silver prices are low right now because investors are selling their holdings because of the turndown in demand? Once fears subside though, we could see a surge in demand for silver as consumers come back. A perfect time to get your silver IRA started. And this month, you'll get a free incredible 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin with a qualified IRA of $20,000 or higher. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call the team now at 877-646-5347 to find out more or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, let's get to this video.
And another very clear idea is that for the administration of justice to command respect and to function, it must be fair and impartial. Fairness and impartiality requires that similar acts be treated the same, and regarded the same. I would submit to you that many Americans believe that there is a dual standard of justice in the country.
Oh, yes.
They look at the incidents of Hillary Clinton's email scandal and how that was resolved, and they compare that to the FBI's investigation of Donald Trump and the following Mueller investigation. They see inequality. They see inequality, by the way, between the email scandal and the way President Trump was treated in Florida with the criminal search warrant execution at Mar-a-Lago. People watched the courthouse, the federal courthouse in Portland, attacked consistently and with an obvious plan and purpose for 200 and something nights in a row, if I remember correctly, where federal protective services officers would come out and try to defend the courthouse, put out fires, and it happened over and over and over again. They saw the Capitol riot. They believe a very different treatment of people, particularly in the concept of pretrial detention and discretionary determinations about how that should apply, and dismissal of charges and the like. Often accused, I was accused today, using my words about if it was an insurrection, it was the worst insurrection in the history of the world. What I meant there is it appears more to have been a riot. It is a very disgraceful riot, but it was a riot. An insurrection would have taken, and there were maybe some groups of clad people in helmets and so forth who had a plan. Some small people, but in the main, it was a split off of protesters in Washington, and that crowd in the main kind of just came in and started a riot at the Capitol. That was mainly what we saw. Someone can say that it's, or believe that it's shameful for me to even speak to that, as though it's like Voldemort, you can't talk about it. I'm never going to submit to that kind of intimidation.
Well, now, you hear this man? Now, he's laying out some very interesting points. At this point, if you're a rational thinking person and you're listening to him, you can understand. You are sitting back here saying, okay, let me just go ahead and listen to the argument and the presentation and see what he's talking about. And your mind is saying, yeah, that does make sense. See, now, what the Democrats are attempting to do and have been doing for a long time is making things that you normally would say, yeah, that does make sense, appear to not make sense. To take you out of that calm, relaxed, mind frame of processing information and running it through the sensor of your brain and saying, now wait, I'm going to go ahead and approach this from a very objective view. And he made some good points. Number one, we are able to see that there's a bias. Now, that is one of the number one things they want us to feel we're not able to see. That's not happening. There's no bias. They want us to overlook that. They want us to shut our mouths and think that regardless of the obvious difference of treatment concerning the violence that comes out of their supporters, the violence that they've encouraged, the violence that they did not condemn, they want us to overlook all of that. Now, you want to raise some suspicions? Well, you go ahead and try to gaslight the public and tell them there's no difference in how we're treating people, but they're all seeing that it is a difference. So we watched them burn cities, we watched them attack police officers, we watched them attack federal buildings, we watched all of that, while we also seen the whole Democrat Party saying that they were all mostly peaceful protesters, along with the media, all doing it in harmony. And yet, we see what took place on January 6th, and it's the worst thing since World War II. It's the worst thing since the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Civil War, 9/11, all of that. And here is the other key component. For them to control the narrative and the minds of the people and to create the perception that what took place on January 6th was as bad as they claim that it is, they need some key components to help them do that. One, they need to be able to control the media to shape the narrative. All of the footage that shows that it wasn't as bad as they claim, they exclude. All of the footage that shows that it was chaotic and it was wild and crazy, they will show those clips. And then anyone who questions it or downplays it because they might be privy to other clips that cannot be explained, which I'll be showing in part 3. So you got to hang in there. Clips that can't be explained, where you say to yourself, wait, it was that bad? Then why is this cop doing this? Why ain't that cop doing that? Why are these people doing this? Why people look confused? If this was an insurrection, where are the guns? Who's leading the insurrection? Who coordinated the insurrection? Now, the only person thus far who appeared to be a person that knew what was going on and has some privy to the insurrection and their goals and objective was Ray Epps, which we saw in part 1. They're not interested in that guy. He's the only one that talked about a plan. So my question would be, what plan is that, Mr. Ray Epps? What's the end of that plan? Has the plan been accomplished? What is the end game? So the man with the plan is not being questioned and they have no interest in him. And we'll find in part 3 that instead of even responding to these rational questions that the Republicans have in their arguments, the Democrats are going to do something that totally disrespects our common sense, which is divert from Ray Epps and attack them for wanting to know about this guy. Now, my question is, why are you attacking us over Ray Epps? All right, let's keep going, y'all. See if we can get to the bottom of this.
I want to read from an article here. There's another person who was there present on January 6th. This is from Epic Times. Ray Epps, the former Arizona Oath Keepers leader who was famously captured on camera a day before January 6, 2021, urging protesters to go into the U.S. Capitol, allegedly directed a group of individuals who removed siege weapons, including a long piece of 2x4 lumber from a utility hatch on Capitol grounds after telling witnesses they needed to slow the crowd so it didn't F up the plan, the man claims. So you've got a witness who said that he was close enough to him. And also on the camera footage, if you go back, you can find that this witness was in close proximity with Mr. Epps, long enough to hear these words, if they were indeed stated to him from Mr. Epps. Is nobody curious about this? Does nobody care? On the other side of the aisle? I mean, I thought you'd set up a whole committee, a whole January 6th committee to get to the bottom of this. And the one person there seems to be more information, more video of than anybody else that can be identified positively and who is the only person that we see the day before urging protesters to go into the Capitol. The only person who's told the FBI that he thought there were going to be pipe bombs on, or there were going to be bombs on side streets, and that's one of the reasons he came. By the way, it seems like every time he talked to the FBI, he had a different reason for saying why he came to the Capitol that day. But why is nobody on the other side of the aisle interested in that? Why is the FBI not interested in that? Why are you rushing to his defense? This is the thing I don't understand. President Trump said far less than to go into the Capitol. That's
Yeah.
where your problems are. And yeah, peacefully and patriotically, make your voices heard. But this guy said, go into the Capitol. I'm probably going to jail for it. I'm probably going to get arrested for
confessions.
this, for saying this. And he said it the day before.
Right now, he's making a beautiful argument. Now, anybody who is calm, relaxed, and non-biased and objective will be listening to this and saying these are rational questions. If I'm sitting down and I haven't been polluted and manipulated by all of the narratives since this whole thing took place, I would be hearing this argument and I'd be saying, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So let me understand. The man that said, don't ruin the plan. The man who said, go over to the Capitol and go into the Capitol. That man who seemed to have knowledge of a pipe bomb that allegedly was planted for the vice president. No one's curious about it. All of the evidence, all of the witnesses that said they saw him, heard him, the video footage. But for some reason, he gets removed from the FBI most wanted list. And the Democrats say they secretly interviewed him and said that this man was innocent. And they never told us why he was innocent. In spite of all of the evidence to prove that he's guilty of everything that the Democrats said Trump is guilty of, that all of the rest of the people are guilty of. So now, if you want to make a poster child of someone for the insurrection, instead of the guy with the horns, you would think that picture of Ray Epps with his finger pointing towards the Capitol, you would think he would be the poster child. But instead, the guy with the horns who walked in to the Capitol floor, laughing and joking, taking pictures, didn't do anything, was very accommodating, told everybody to calm down, don't tear up nothing and all of that. He is the poster child for the leader of the insurrection is an extremist. But Ray Epps gets to go free. In fact, an article came out trying to defend him and saying he's been treated just, unjustly. And since we've all questioned his involvement, that really we have real legitimate reasons to question it because he's all on video. His life has been ruined. He's received death threats, but not the people who are still sitting in jail. Not the guy with the horns who got a couple years that didn't do anything. No video footage of them encouraging people to go over to the Capitol. And Ray Epps, who's running free and being protected by the Democrat Party, FBI, and DOJ, is complaining about we're ruining his life.
Why is there no interest in him? Why is there, by the way, and this is the one that we can identify. Why are there no interest in the other people who were urging them to go into the Capitol? We have photographs of them. Some of them never have even appeared on the FBI most wanted list. Whereas at least Ray Epps appeared there for a while before he disappeared.
Happened like he used to tap loud.
And now you heard Sheila Jackson / Mahalia Jackson / that donut on the back of her head try to come in and interrupt that argument. See, now here is that part before we go into part 3, where the Democrats are listening to this and they're saying, yeah, they're making too much sense. We got to launch a counterattack. What we have to do now is do what the killdeer does. The bird that I always use as an example of how you distract people away from the real evidence. The killdeer is the bird that as soon as people start getting close to their nest, they start going away and flipping around like they're hurt so that people will look in the opposite direction and then be wondering, what's going on with that bird over there? It looks hurt. Maybe we should go investigate. But really, they're being led away from the real nest. And that's what the Democrats are about to do. And you'll see in part 3. They're going to come in and launch a counterattack on your rationale, your common sense, your reasoning, your deductive reasoning, all of that stuff. They're going to launch a counterattack on it, and they're going to use some tactics which I am going to identify and then present some evidence from Kevin's Corner to shut down all of their counterattacks. So I'm going to identify what those attacks are, how they're trying to be used to manipulate the whole view of January 6th. And then I'm going to show some additional evidence which the Republicans, for some reason, don't have, which I need y'all to share my videos with them to show them how to win these arguments and destroy these Democrats and their narratives. So if you want to check that out, you're going to have to come back and check out part 3. We'll see y'all in part 3. God bless. Take care. God bless y'all. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button. Share my videos. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.